Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and thank you for tuning in here to Times Now. The show is called The Breaking Ground and I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. Today I'm going to be talking about something that we have seen a lot of conversation around, particularly in the state of Uttar Pradesh. This is the bulldozer. The bulldozer Baba. Remember, we've spoken so much about this in the run-up to the big battle of 2024, a lot in Uttar Pradesh, and then there were some instances also in Madhya Pradesh. Now today, we have some very significant pictures that have come to us from the state of Madhya Pradesh. And if you would recall, we had seen similar images that had come in from Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh just about yesterday. So let's play out these images right now on your screens. The images look quite similar because here also you have a demolition taking place, and much like here, a demolition also happened in Madhya Pradesh. Now, though remember these are JCBs, but the famous monicum that is being used for them now is bulldozer. Bulldozer Baba to bulldozer justice to bulldozer politics, everything is bulldozer. But when you look at these two pictures, I'll tell you the reasons of what we have seen vis-a-vis these two actions that you have seen both in Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh and later then also in Madhya Pradesh. Now this is what happened vis-a-vis an SP leader. Again, the allegation is that a part of this entire complex that has been brought down by the administration here was built on an illegal structure, illegal permission, actually that was meant for government bond. On the other side, you also have an accuser's house here that has been demolished in Madhya Pradesh. We've seen the administration responding in both the instances, and because again, you have both BJP-ruled states. You have the opposition that is questioning the action that happened in Ayodhya, also questioning the action that has happened in Madhya Pradesh. These are pictures again that make us ask a lot of questions. These are also pictures that, will tell you that this is the new form of justice that many would say is happening both in Uttar Pradesh and now in Madhya Pradesh. Let's bring up our top 5 questions on the show first up to help you understand what we are talking about. Now, right from Uttar Pradesh to Madhya Pradesh, is bulldozer now the new buzzword to instill what many are saying is a fear of law? Because people don't get scared, and unless you have punitive action, a lot of people say that this is the best way to ensure some fear of law. Again, there is a heated debate on whether that should happen or not. Dramatic images that have come into us, again, of this demolition of a huge palatial house that is linked to one of the accused in a case in Madhya Pradesh. Let's bring up the second question now on our screens. It says that the opposition has been saying that this entire move, remember, is anti-constitutional. They say कि ये संविधान के खिलाफ है. तो संविधान ये आपने बहुत सुना है in the run-up to the battle of 2024. The opposition again using that same card, saying everything that is happening here is against the constitution, but we'll tell you, what do the laws say? Is this really against the constitution? What is, the written spirit of law? And what has happened when we've seen such cases going to the court? And is the opposition also trying to play some bit of politics by using these pictures and the entire imagery? This brings us to our third question. Are bulldozers now becoming a symbol of instant justice? Instant, quick justice, there and then. There is an accused, there are serious allegations, and the governments of the day, the governments in particular states, believe that this is the best example to serve instant justice. Is this also a model getting accepted by people, or people are not comfortable with this? We'll discuss all sides of that story. And again, remember, because you have important elections, and again you will see the opposition using that entire bridge of anti-constitution, Samvidhan ke khilaf. They will show you these images, talk about these images. But is this really, anything to do with justice or more about politics? This brings us to our next question. When courts are tasked, remember, with administering justice, what purpose does bulldozer justice even serve? Now, one thing is clear. There is no debate about the fact that any case has to be tried in a court of law. The courts will be looking at all evidences. And it's only once the court will pronounce a judgment and a punishment should something happen. When we know that very well, no one is debating that, then what does this entire imagery even serve? Is this again, like I said, for creating a larger narrative, for creating a larger perception? And this bulldozer justice, does it get a thumbs up or a thumbs down? We'll find out. This brings us to our final question. I think that is very, very important. We've seen a lot of this in the recent past. There has been a lot of debate about this. I ask, that is bulldozer politics now unsustainable, or is this something that can continue the way it is? Time and again, on multiple instances, remember, a lot of petitions have gone into the courts that have opined specifically looking at the merits of the case. But when it comes to netas cutting across political quarters, netas belonging, remember, to different states, and when you see something like this, is this a model, ladies and gentlemen, that is sustainable, non-sustainable? As always, you can tell us also on all our social media handles. We do read your feedback and we take that very seriously. I want to now remove the questions and look at these two pictures. Now put the focus on this. It's hard to believe, but it's the same structure. This is what happened before the demolition, when you had a picture being taken of the entire structure. It's a huge palatial structure. Again, very well fenced, very well guarded. You have the cops outside, and the bulldozer justice that has now come to us from Madhya Pradesh's Chhatarpur district. This is before demolition, this is after. Now this is the accuser's house that is raised, and you had the JCB going there, pulling down the entire structure. Apparently there were also a few cars, remember, just parked towards this side. They have also been damaged. So this is the before and after, a clear example of the bulldozer justice, this time that has come to us from Madhya Pradesh. As always, you have a lot of politics also on this. And like I said, the Constitution has become the talking point once again. The Congress has used this to essentially say that this is an example of the BJP hatred towards a particular community. They also say that the BJP is crushing the Constitution. Samvidhan ko dabane ki koshish hai. Something that time and again you have seen the Congress using against the BJP government. They also say that the BJP, by doing something like this in their own, ruled states, is crushing sabka saath, sabka vikas. Congress netas have also taken to the social media to ask, is this an example of how you do sabka saath, sabka vikas? क्या आप भेदभाव रखते हैं? क्या आप एक कम्युनिटी को टारगेट करते हैं? Those are multiple questions today that the Congress party is asking, as all this, remember, again is coming to us from Madhya Pradesh. We've also seen a counter that has come in from the BJP that is ruling the state right now with the Chief Minister, Mohan Yadav. Now, what has the BJP said? The BJP has said, and I'm quoting now, our government knows how to deal with miscreants. No nonsense. This is a muscular approach, remember, that is being adopted by the state. You agree with it, you do not, agree with it. Obviously, that is something that is open to a lot of debate. They also say the government has adopted policy to help the common man, and this is the government's own justification to say that this is an action to deal with such anti-social elements. So the government justifying its action, the government saying that all this is important because we need to show that we are very serious when it comes to law and order and dealing with the anti-social elements. Just take a moment to listen in to a reaction also that has come in from the BJP in Madhya Pradesh.
कानून का जो उल्लंघन करेगा, कानून अपना रास्ता बनाएगा। सरकार समाज के काम में मददगार रहती है, असामाजिक तत्वों से निपटने में सक्षम है।
All right, so we have a lot of questions, remember, that we'll be looking at as far as the story goes. And on your screens are again images of Ayodhya just coming to our newsrooms yesterday, to also a Chhatarpur in Madhya Pradesh now. And I want to say good evening to Gunjan Choksi, who's a spokesperson of the BJP on the show. We also have BL Voraji, who's a former IPS officer. He's also going to be up on our screens in just a moment. Shyam Prasad Meka, who represents the Congress also, is joining us on the show, and we are waiting also for Vikram Astal, who's a leader of the Congress from Delhi, also expected to be on the show in just a moment. And, Gunjan and both gentlemen, I just hope that we continue to be very, very responsible and not provoke and not make comments that can offend sentiments, because this is a very serious issue, an issue also about law and order in general. about whether this is a model that should be largely acceptable and sustainable. What do the courts say? Mr. Mecca, I see you're nodding your head, and clearly you can put out whatever you want to say, but the only word of caution is that we will keep in mind sentiments involved and also to not provoke anyone here. I'll begin with the former IPS officer, Vora Saab, first up on the show. Now, Vora Saab, when you look at these images, whether it is Uttar Pradesh, whether it is Madhya Pradesh, is this a model, sir, sustainable? Because people are saying there are courts in the country. The courts will tell us whether someone is guilty or not. The courts will decide the punishment. Can any state government decide to do something like this? Is this legal? Not legal, sir.
Government is using the law very smartly. And what they are doing is sustainable. Let me tell you that. Illegal constructions, unauthorized constructions, encroachments on the government land.
Okay.
This is the common norm.
Vora Saab, apologies, I'm just cutting you short.